Hello VenomFangX, and my loyal friends and subscribers. This video will be the first of mine outside of the political spectrum. Atheism is linked to liberalism, just as strong as Christianity is linked to conservatism. This is not to say that there's no crossover, but conservative views such as pro-life, pro-traditional marriage, etc. are clearly on the right side of the spectrum, as abortion, homosexual marriage, etc. are linked to atheism. This link is symbiotic. In pure atheism, conservatism cannot exist. The closest you can get is libertarianism. The famous author C.S. Lewis once was an atheist. In fact, he was an outspoken atheist. He recalls that before his conversion he, quote, hated God for not existing. This may sound comical, but it isn't that difficult to understand. Now, it's obvious that people like Thunderf00t and TheAmazingAthiest do indeed believe in God, or else there would be no reason to fight against them so much. Think of it this way. If atheists are correct, then what? Nothing would happen. Everyone is assigned to the same fate, and therefore there's no reason for an atheist to attempt to convert people. If Christianity is correct, then atheists go to hell. Because of this, it would seem that a logical choice would be to err on the side of caution, which would cost you nothing except a few Sundays in church, living a virtuous life, and accepting Jesus Christ as the Son of God. In any case, VenomFangX, I think it would be prudent to ignore people like this. You've been fairly forthcoming, though a bit eccentric at times. After so long, though, you certainly have to know that they are in a state of mind as strong as a jihadist. They will never submit to logic or reason. Nothing short of being knocked off a horse by God will convince them otherwise. This doesn't mean you shouldn't continue your ministry. It just means that you should focus on those you can indeed save. If a ship is sinking, grab those people closest to you. Don't swim down to the lower decks to grab the others first. Some have to find their way higher out of the sinking hull before you can grab hold of them. As for C.S. Lewis, perhaps his story of conversion will help give you some hope. He said, quote, "You must picture me alone in that room in Magellan, night after night, feeling, whenever my mind lifted even for a second from my work, the steady, unrelenting approach of him who I so earnestly desired not to meet. That which I greatly feared had at last come upon me. In Trinity term of 1929 I gave in. I admitted that God was God, and knelt and prayed. Perhaps that night the most dejected and reluctant converts in all of England." He also described his conversion as saying, he came to God kicking and screaming. 3 years later, he converted from an agnostic to a Christian. Remember, the Bible says that everybody, regardless of what they believe, will one day confess that Jesus Christ is God. It will happen. We can only hope that it happens for these people before it's too late. Thank you.